There are three characteristics. Whoever attains them will taste the sweetness of iman. What are they? أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. Number one, to love Allah and His Messenger more than anything else. Number two, وأن يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله. To love a person purely for the sake of Allah. وأن يكره أن يعود في الكفر بعد إذ أنقذه الله منه كما يكره أن يقذف في النار. And to hate to return to disbelief after Allah saved you from it, the same way you hate to be launched into fire. So the point of mentioning this hadith is point number two, to love a person purely for the sake of Allah. And as I've shared with you before, when we talk about love for the sake of Allah, we think of anyone but our spouse. You think about loving your shaykh for the sake of Allah, your brother for the sake of Allah, the person you're studying with in the masjid for the sake of Allah. Rarely do we think about my wife, my husband. I can actually love them for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what happens when you bring Islam between you and your wife. All of a sudden you have a new force that brings you together, that transcends children and Deliveroo and Netflix. You've brought Allah Jalla Jalaluhu into the religion. And that is for the most part a fail-proof relationship therefore. And maybe some of you have heard about the love triangle. The love triangle, it's where you put husband in the bottom right corner, for example, and you put wife in the bottom left corner of the triangle, and then Allah Jalla Jalaluhu at the peak of that triangle. What happens is that when husband and wife, they improve their relationship with their Lord, and they draw nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through salah and Quran and fasting and dhikr and tawbah, hijab. What is happening between husband and wife? They are also drawing nearer to one another as they draw nearer to Allah. And the opposite is true. As they deteriorate in their religious conviction, move away from Allah, they are also moving away from one another. And so bring Islam into your relationship. What happens? It becomes a powerful and an enduring relationship.